Hey everybody, welcome back. It's been a while. Today's topic is going to be taking a closer look into my career of choice, that being radiology. Being a radiologist is a very intense career that is implemented into various locations, and it varies in compensation based on where you are at. To reiterate, a radiologist is a doctor that specifically works with x-rays. The first thing that comes to mind is, where does a radiologist work? As you can see with the picture on screen and to my source, Career Center, radiologists can not only work at a hospital, but they can also work in the Army, they can work in a research facility, they can work in an outpatient center, and they can also work in a private practice. That's not the only thing. Radiology being a very technology-inclined career, it can be accessed through anywhere in the world. As long as there's an internet connection and a computer, you can do the work from anywhere that you're at. For example, I know a doctor personally. She lives here in Gainesville, but her hospital is all the way in New York. So if you think about it, it's something to look forward to if you're into this type of career. Now that we've talked about where they might work at, now let's talk about something less interesting, which is the working hours. According to my source, the AMA, a physician or doctor such as a radiologist can work anywhere between 40 to 60 hours. And that's already a lot. But according to the 2014 survey of work life of today's physicians, they can work anywhere between 60 to 80 hours. And that's a huge amount of work per week. According to the ASRT and the NEST, it's affecting the lives of the doctors in a very traumatic way, because if you really think about it, they're going to be in the hospital or wherever they're at for that long amount of time, and the amount of time that they're not there, they're either doing things that they have to do, or they're sleeping because they know that when they wake up, they have to do it all over again. But if they're very serious about their career, they have to accept it and accept the fact they're going to have to keep doing that to carry on with their career. But let's move on to something more interesting. Now that we know the amount of hours they're going to be working, let's talk about compensation, or the salary. As you can see according to the map and to my source, the Glassdoor, which is a website where you type in your career and where you're living at or where you might live at, it tells you around an average ballpark of what you might be looking at as to the salary for your career of choice. But as for me, being a radiologist, as you can see, we're in the southeastern side of the country. So you can see that it's an average of $374,000, and that's all location-based. For example, if you are in Texas, you can see that is the southwest side. They're looking around $400,000. And that's a huge difference, but it all depends on where you're at. So for example, the person that I know, she lives here, but she works at the hospital in New York. So she's getting the pay of New York, but she lives in Gainesville. So it's something that's very interesting to look into. Now let's talk about the life and environment of the radiologist in the work environment. So let's compare it to a surgeon. A surgeon, as you can see on screen, is a very stressful and pressure on the doctor himself, because he's operating on the patient at that moment. But compared to a radiologist, as you can see on screen, he's in a much more relaxed, private, cool lighting, quiet, and there's still amount of room. There's room to relax and talk to people, but mostly it's a very relaxed place compared to a surgeon. Nevertheless, a radiologist is something very important. So let's think about it this way. A patient comes into the ER. The second thing they do is they do x-rays and other stuff, and the radiologist takes charge of that section. If the radiologist does not do his job, nobody else can do their job, because they are the only ones that can give detail of looking inside of the human body and seeing what's wrong with that patient. So if you really think about it, a radiologist is something that's very serious, and it might be even considered the basis of medicine, period, because they are the ones that are looking into the patient, and the other doctors can do their jobs. But that's all I have to say for you guys today. Thank you for watching. See you next time.